Hey guys, it's Miss Bankett, and today I have a video strictly for my third graders. Only my third graders. It's a special video just for them. So that's Isaiah, Elham, and Aries, okay? So today we are going to work on number sense. So parents, this is a supplemental lesson that goes with the math lessons that have been posted on Schoology. I know I just said a lot. But when you log into BCPS 1, and of course you go to Courses, Miss Bankett's class, on our homepage there's a folder that is called This Week's Whole Group Materials. And there you will find a mathematics folder, and in that folder there will be a folder specifically for third grade. And so the lessons on Schoology will pair with the video that I'm going to be making today. All right, so we're going to talk about number sense. So today, what are we going to do? What can you and I do together? So we are going to be able to count sets of objects and compare numbers using the symbols for greater than and less than. So we're going to count and compare. And we're going to compare by using the greater than symbol and the less than symbol. All right, so before we do that, let's do a quick warm-up. So I want you to think about this. Which souvenir can you buy at a gift shop? So I'm going to read that again. Remember, we're going to put on our thinking caps and we're going to really tap in, okay? Which souvenir can you buy at a gift shop? Can you buy a souvenir magnet or a microwave? What do you think you can buy at a gift shop? A souvenir magnet or a microwave? All right, parents, remember, you're giving your kiddo the opportunity to think about the answer on their own. If you do not feel uncomfortable for the amount of time that you've been waiting, then you definitely haven't waited long enough. Give your kiddos that opportunity to think about the question that they were just asked and to be able to formulate an answer on their own. You may prompt them once you feel as though you have waited long enough and that they might need a little bit more assistance. So what can I buy from a souvenir gift shop? Can I buy a magnet or can I buy a microwave? So I'm going to use my writing tool and I'm going to use green. That's Isaiah's favorite color. So what can I buy? I think I can buy a magnet from a souvenir gift shop. Good job. So these are some items that you can find at a gift shop. They have some buttons, keychains, magnets, mugs, posters, and t-shirts. So these are 6 items that we can find at our souvenir gift shop. So what we're going to do, we are going to read stories, not so many stories, but a couple of math stories that involve our friends Emily and Chris. All right, so let's look at our first one. All right, so we're going to learn about it and we're going to try it. So, Emily, this is Emily. Emily has 8 keychains. So it says she has 8, but I want us to count to make sure that she actually has 8 keychains. So I want you to count with me, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now go back to the beginning, 6, 7, 8. So Emily has 8 keychains. Now, parents, this can be a great opportunity to pause the video and have your kiddos count the keychains for you. If they need hand-over-hand assistance, you may provide that to them. Or if they might need access to a number line, you can use a piece of paper, draw a line with the numbers 0 to 10 so that they can reference the actual number with what they're saying. All right, I hope you were able to count those 8 keychains that Emily has. Now let's look at Chris. So it says Chris has 10 keychains. That's a lot, but we need to count them to make sure that we have the same amount of keychains that our story problem tells us that we need. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we counted 10 keychains together, and now I want you to pause the video and count those 10 keychains on your own. Okay, so we've read that Emily has 8 keychains and Chris has 10 keychains. So our question now is, who has more? This is more in sign language. Who has more? Emily or Chris? I want you to take a second to talk about it with whoever is working with you. All right, so what do you think? Who has more, Emily or Chris? I'm going to get my writing tool, and this time I'm going to use yellow because my Deanie girl's in the yellow house. So who had more, Emily or Chris? Chris had more. Very good. So when we hear the word more, that means that there is a bigger amount. So Chris had a bigger amount than Emily. All right? So let's look at this page right here. So we found out that Chris had more keychains than Emily. So remember, we were going to count objects and sets, and then we were going to compare those numbers. So our two numbers were 10 and 8. Let me hear you say 10. Good job. And what was our second number? 8. Very good. So Chris had more. So this is my greater than symbol. So if we look at my picture down here, I see 2 alligator heads and an equal to sign. What does that mean? So my alligator head, if it's facing this way, kind of like this, well, that's the opposite way for you guys. But if it's facing that way, that means it's greater than. And these alligators get really hungry, and they only ever want to eat the number that's the biggest. They don't want the small number because then they're going to miss out on the more that they could have had. So my alligator only likes big numbers. So if my alligator is eating a number, that means that it's bigger than or greater than. So my alligator mouth is facing the number 10. So that means that 10 is greater than 8. Let's take a look at another one. So here, Emily has 3 mugs. Now, what do we have to do to make sure that she actually has 3 mugs? We have to count. Good job. So let's count together and then I want you to count on your own. So how many mugs does it say that Emily has? 3. Good job. So we need to make sure that when we count, we only have 3. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3. Stop. How many did we count? 3. Good job. So we made sure that our tens frame, this is our tens frame, that our tens frame had 3 mugs, just like our story problem said. Let's see how many Chris has. Chris has 7 mugs. Now, what do we have to do to make sure that Chris actually has 7 mugs? We have to count. Good job. So it says that he has 7. So we need to count to make sure that he has 7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Awesome. So you and I counted the 3 mugs that Emily has and the 7 mugs that Chris has. Now I want you to show whoever is working with you how good you are at counting. So take a second to pause the video and count Emily's 3 mugs and Chris's 7 mugs. All right, I know you did a great job counting, but now we have to answer our question. So it says, who has less? So when we hear the word less, that means the smaller amount. So we were just working on the bigger amount, and now we need to find out who has the smaller amount. Okay? So who had less? Emily or Chris? What do you think? Why don't you talk about it with whoever is working with you? I'm going to get my writing tool. And I think I'm going to use red. Aris always likes to use red in the classroom. All right, did you have a second to talk about it? What do you think? Who has less? Emily, good job. So let's take a look at this page. So it says Emily had fewer mugs than Chris. So when we hear that word fewer, that means less. And what numbers were we working with? Do you remember? Let's take a look again. So Emily has 3 mugs and Chris has 7 mugs. So we're working with 3 and 7. So if I put my numbers side by side, here I have another symbol. But remember, our picture's down here at the bottom as a reference. So this time, my alligator isn't facing this way. He's facing the number 7. Why do you think that is? That's right, because only alligators eat big numbers, okay? So they're going to eat the bigger number. Is 3 bigger than 7, or is it smaller than 7? It's smaller. Good job. So my alligator doesn't want to eat the number 3. He wants to eat the number 7. So that means that this reads 3 is less than 7. I know it's a little tricky, but hopefully when we get back to school, we can learn about it a little more, all right? Or even during extended school year, because we're going to have classes together during the summer as well. So now that we've had a review, I want you to finish the rest of the work that's posted on Schoology with your mommies or your daddies or your aunties or whoever works with you while you're at home, okay? I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.